Gone are the days of integrated textile mills, where the spinning, the weaving, the knitting, and all the way to dyeing and finishing were under one roof. Or so we thought. This is before PTRI learned about a company based at the export processing zone in Bataan that has a weaving, dyeing, finishing, and garment manufacturing all together. Now, how is textile manufacturing in Philippine setting? What are the opportunities and the outlook of this business? This company have been in the textile industry for more than 30 years, and nowadays they are engaged in military uniforms, school uniforms, and in providing services to hospitals for more than 32 years. Our speaker is the former president of the Taiwanese Business Association of Subic Bay, the chairman of the Cambodia Manhattan Special Economic Zone, the chairman of the Philippine Committees of the Chinese International Economic Cooperation Association, and the chairman of MEDTECS International Corporation Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you Chairman Yang Kerr Chen.
Honorable Director Celia Eluma, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is the first time I am invited by this PTRI. Although we have worked with PTRI for so many years, our company has been established, put investment in Philippines over 32 years. Therefore, although I come from Taiwan, I come to Philippines almost like 300 times. So I traveled more than the flight attendant. So they said I work very hard for airline company. So interesting enough, so people look at me, they believe I am more Filipinos than Taiwanese or Chinese. So interesting enough, today I feel great honor to be here to present our company, and I feel excited, very excited in my heart, because whenever I'm thinking of to work with our Philippine colleagues, the countries working with people in Philippines, I don't know, maybe my last life is Filipino, was Filipino. Very, very interesting that I start my investment since 1986, okay, in Philippines. And it is after this past 30 years, I observe, I see manufacturers in Philippines decline. The industry, manufacturing industry decline. That used to be a proud of Philippines that they can do a lot of manufactures in agriculture, in materials, then of course weaving, spinning, weaving, dyeing and making a garment. Today, almost over 90% of those materials import from overseas. Why? And we, MEDTECS, stay here for the past 30 years. We are still here, but I saw the pendulum is moving to another side, is coming back. It's a time for Philippines. I like to introduce ourselves and how we work together, how we can contribute to make Philippines a new manufacturing site for this industry. This very basic fundamental industry. When you see in the whole world, the biggest company like DuPont, like Johnson & Johnson, those big companies, they come from, originating from textile industry. Interesting. Okay, today, MEDTECS, I'm talking about MEDTECS. The group has presence in We have a China factory, but compared to our other location sites, that is a small portion. We have Taiwan, we service about not only a hospital textile, hospital linen manufacturers in different countries. We also service hospitals using this, we call that functional textile, functional linens, providing a protective apparels. So we service hospitals. Maybe more than 30% of all hospitals in Taiwan, we service them. And today, we also service about 30 hospitals in Philippines. Okay, all this factory, including Cambodia, we have one factory actually two factories. The biggest factory in the globe is in Cambodia. We have about 4,000 people. And we are listed in Singapore. And the very first factory is, 1986, 87 in Philippines. So that is our business. And so we work on actually personal protective apparel. That people remember the SARS, during assassination outbreak, and we producing most of protective apparels. And we are providing, when we service the hospitals, hospital is reluctant to, after they use those protective apparels, who is going to take care of it after they use it? So we provide that service, and we take them back after they use it. We do the laundry, sterilize, and send it back to them. That's a new business model. We call that leasing the hospital rentals. And then we do incontinence product and personal protective equipment. For example, we do big number of DuPont of protective apparel used in hospitals and very dangerous disease areas. For example, Ebola, area in Africa. We produce protective apparel for DuPont alone, maybe 150 million pieces a year. That's a very interesting number. So mostly we do hospital textile, including reusable and disposable. We have a different certificates for different items for those when you try to make functional textile, functional garment, then you use in the hospitals, you have to go through all this kind of certificate. Okay, now we concentrate to talk about our MEDTECS Philippines. Okay, we start, so you see that capacities we're doing in Bataan since 1987, 88. We have a big weaving capacity, about maybe 700,000 yards per month, and dyeing facilities, and making the finished garment. Most of them are medical garment or health linens. Items like blanket, doctor shirt, pant, surgical pack. You don't really understand what is surgical pack. Doctor shirt, pant, patient gown, surgical gown with little function on there. So therefore you added value to make yourself differentiate from other regular items. On the other hand, we also do a big uniforms, especially for industrial uniforms, protective wear. So our company's mission, you know, many companies try to set up a goal that the company will last longer. Therefore, you have to define, position yourself, and build a very core soul into your heart, into your staff's heart, into the company's heart. Therefore, that company can last longer because you build a spirit, a soul. The soul in our company is a vision. The vision is we want to make the most safe and protected apparel, uniforms to those people who work in different industries, so that they can go home after work safely. This is our goal. This is our mission, to make the best personal protective apparels, and every workers can go home safely. This is our goal. This is our soul. And in Philippines, we have doing this job for 30 years. Many of my friends in Asia, before I'm pushing, I'm promoting, because I have this very successful experience, business experience in Philippines. But outside of Philippines, the overseas people worry about Philippines. Okay, one of my job, you see my CV. One of my job is a committee chairman of Philippine committee chairman in Taiwan, promoting Taiwanese businessmen come to Philippines. Interesting. I have a very successful business experience, 30 years in Philippines. I have no labor problem, no labor strikes. But outside impression, investors worry. They said the peace order in Philippines is not good. Labor union is very strong. I am promoting this job for the past 30 years. And at that time, we are pushing, we are trying to take them back and ask them to put investment in Philippines. We have very bright timing since 1986 after People's Power. And after 5 years later, the pendulum moved. Even we pull them very hard. We want them to come to the Philippines. Many people, most of people go to China because China is so inexpensive, so cheap. At that time, the minimum wage is $50 per month. Our Philippines is about $100 at that time. So you cannot put investment in Philippines. On the other hand, everybody wants to move to China. But after 20 years today, China moving very fast. They are number one to the USA trade surplus. Number two, who's number two? Mexico. That's the reason now you see a trade war between China, US want to China to make a change. Secondly, the US want to make Canada and Mexico, they talk about NAFTA, they want a change. They want the trade, NAFTA treaty to be amended. Who is third? Germany. Therefore, they hit Europe. Who is number 4? Japan, right? Germany. So they push on Germany, they push on Japan. Who's number 5? Vietnam. Vietnam is like number 5. And how about our Philippines? Our Philippines is much less. Therefore, the opportunity for Philippines to grow very fast today is timing. Good opportunity for our Philippines today. Today we see ASEAN is moving up. Philippines is on the annual economic growth over 6.5%, which is on the first tier based on ADB survey. So good. China is very good. Vietnam is very good. Don't forget, Philippines is also on the first tier. So it's timing. And manufacture costing in China is very expensive. China is so proud of themselves for the past successful 20 years. And I told our China brother, I said, wait, do you know who is the biggest exporter company in China? Taiwan, your brother, Taiwanese manufacturers. And who is the top 20 biggest exporters? Over 30% of them are your brother, Taiwanese factories. And now the pendulum moving from China, they want moving to Asia countries. Number one, they talk about Vietnam. But I told them wrong, because Vietnam is number 5 trade surplus to the US. And there are many government efforts. Okay, DTI made a great effort. There are many items out of those over maybe 50,000 items. 30% of them are duty-free to Europe, to USA. It's timing. Therefore, I see that our President Turkey talking about one of their government policy is trying to strengthen manufacturers. They want why the manufacturer is not in Philippines. Why US President want all the manufacturers come back to US. Now our President Duterte wants made in Philippines, Philippine flag, and timing is there. I'm sorry, I forget about my panels. I'm too excited. Because in Philippines, not only we have an abundance of human resources. Okay, do you know how many newborn babies per year in Philippines? 1.7 millions. You know what a challenge for government in Philippines? They have to create a new job, 1.7 million new position, job opportunities for them. Not easy. Manufacturers. And I realized our chairman, Mrs. Ong, Olivia Ong, he made the last presentation, told us there's a gap, production supply gap, over 250 million yards gap, shortage supplies in Philippines. We all have to import this 250,000 yards from overseas just for uniform industry. Can you imagine? Maybe we are insured of maybe 800 million yards of supplies. Today we all import. There's such a good opportunity for us, for Philippines. Manufacturers in Philippines is time. Can you imagine we have so many materials that produced in Philippines that can be used for textile, garment, uniform. And do you realize we need so many jobs to provide for our newborn babies in the future? And we have land, we have agricultural resources, we have sun, okay, out of the sky, free of charge. Can you imagine what an exciting time that we use the sun, we use the open land, even in the south. We have our natural resources, natural fiber that we can produce, we can create job. Therefore, I feel excited for Philippines. And the government is trying to learn from the experience from Taiwan, from China, that they want to invite many of the new investors come to Philippines. And it is time. Therefore, I believe this kind of forum talking about, encourage about our Philippine manufacturing, especially in textile industry. And MEDTECS has been in this industry for over almost 30 years, since 1986, 87. We are maybe one of the stubborn manufacturers. Okay, we see so many manufacturers, they give up. We didn't. But we will not be the only manufacturers. We are welcome, not only ourselves. Put more investment. We want a supply chain. We want a supply clusters. We want more people coming to work together with this core idea, with this new vision, new mission, okay, in this industry. Therefore, I'm so glad the timing is great. And I forgot to mention about Secretary de la Peña. He's my best friend. He sent his son over Taiwan to study. And also our speakers, okay, also come from Taiwan, graduate from UP, master in UP, and study, okay, doctor degree, and finished doctor degree, okay, in our best school in Taiwan. So many great people now in this industry. The pendulum is coming back. All our distinguished guests here are ready to enjoy this great party. Great party. Okay, I'm very happy, and I hope my speech will encourage all of you. I hope my speech will bring more attention to the government policies. I come from a meeting this morning. I actually encourage one of the biggest banks from Taiwan. They have a inauguration ceremony this morning. More investors coming. In the meantime, I invited Senator Gordon to encourage the new investors. Senator Gordon even mentioned about a bill that we presented. That bill is already on the desk of our president. The bill is encouraging more investors, and that is more flexible, is going to help this industry. Finally, because early next week is going to be our Lunar Chinese New Year. In advance, I wish everybody have a very pleasant and good year of peak, and wish everybody good health and prosperous years. Thank you very much.